After Sunita's presentation, I think the broad point she has already made. What I'll do is to talk about a study which Center for Science and Environment did last year on low carbon economy and the low carbon prospect for India. And we looked at 6 most emission intensive sectors, including power sector. And what we did was to look at 3 issues. First, to see how efficient or inefficient Indian industry is. Second, what is the future technology deployment pathway? And lastly, what is the cost of transition to low carbon economy in India? Let me quickly go to the benchmarking exercise that we did. And what we found was Indian industry already, many sectors of Indian industry is at high level of efficiency and has low emission intensity, especially of the 5 sectors, industrial sector that we looked at. We found cement, fertilizer and aluminium at a very high level of efficiency. So for example, in cement sector, we found that Indian cement industry at this point of time probably is one of the most efficient in the world. In fact, it is close to 30% more efficient than the US and about 15 to 20% more efficient than the global average. Similar is the case with fertilizer sector, and we found Indian fertilizer industry, especially urea production, which is the most emission intensive, about 20-25% more efficient than the global average. Same was the case with aluminium. But there are sectors of Indian economy where there is huge potential to reduce emissions, especially steel sector, but the cost of transition is high in both these sectors. So steel sector, for example, we have in all the 3 technology that we looked at, we found that there are potential, and in blast furnace technology, for example, huge potential to reduce emissions. We have an ambitious renewable energy program. We want to add 20,000 megawatt of solar energy by 2020, which is part of our National Action Plan on Climate Change. We have feed-in tariff for wind biomass. We have started taxing coal. And the target is to have 15% of electricity production by renewable energy by 2020. Now, if you add all the feed-in tariff together, India on its own in next 2 decades is going to spend $80 to $100 billion to promote renewable energy. But despite Indian industry, certain sectors being efficient, despite having an aggressive mitigation action, emissions will grow, simply because India will need economic growth. Close to 1/3 of our population is below poverty line, 40% of our population don't have access to electricity. What is also important to understand that in Copenhagen, Government of India made a commitment to reduce emission intensity by 20%. With the policy that Government of India has put in place now, we are on track to meet those emissions intensity. Let me show you this chart about how Indian economy is going to grow. In next 20 years, our GDP will grow by about 5 times. Under business as usual scenario, with the policies in place, we are decoupling. Our total emissions will grow by 3.6 times. We can have a much more ambitious low carbon growth path. In that case, our emissions can be reduced further, and emission intensity for our GDP will reduce by 20% under business as usual by 2030. In case of an ambitious low carbon scenario, we can reduce it by 30%. We can do much more, but it will cost. And I will just take you through the power sector few slides to explain that there is a transition possible in India. We have a window of opportunity to have low carbon growth, but again, we need a mechanism to pay for that transition. In fact, contrary to our perception, we found Indian coal and lignite-based plant quite efficient. At 30% efficiency, the global average is about 28%. What is important to understand is there is 10,000 megawatt of outdated technology. If we remove that, the efficiency of coal power plant in India is about 35%. Our power generation will increase. In fact, will increase by 4 times in next 20 years. But in 2030, the per capita power generation in India will still remain 1/7 of the current power generation, per capita power generation in the US. We can do a lot for transition. We can move to gas, obviously imported gas. We can utilize hydro and onshore wind potential, have more biomass, but it will require more land. We can massively expand solar and onshore wind, but rest will have to come from coal. And in coal, we could do, massive improvement in efficiency, retired old stock, move to new technology. And this is the modeling exercise that we did. And we found that under business as usual scenario, India will install close to 170,000 megawatt of hydro and renewable energy. In low carbon, if we are much more aggressive, we can move to 350,000 megawatt of hydro and renewable energy. But what is most interesting is, despite having a very ambitious renewable energy and hydro program, even in low carbon, close to 58% of Indian electricity will still be coming from coal. So, even with probably one of the most ambitious renewable energy program in the world, India will have to depend on coal to provide electricity to all. And the second point we found that this transition from business as usual to low carbon will be very expensive. It will be about $60 per ton of carbon dioxide. Let me conclude quickly. We have opportunity to invest today in building a low carbon energy and industrial infrastructure. We can do more, but the cost of transition will be high. We will, even if we want to move to an ambitious mitigation program, we will still need carbon space to grow. And therefore, an agreement based on equity is essential for India to secure a rightful carbon space, and secondly, to have a technological and financial deal that pays for transition. Thank you very much.